with the Cedar Braised Bison. My name is Sean Sherman. I am the CEO and founder of the Sioux Chef and also our nonprofit called Natives, which is an acronym for North American Traditional Indigenous Food Systems. In the Americas, we're on Indigenous land space, and we have access to very little understanding of Indigenous foods, let alone having access to Indigenous restaurants. So part of the work that we're doing is trying to raise awareness about Indigenous foods, the importance of it, the histories that are often not talked about and often invisible to us, and how we can move forward with bringing this knowledge base into our daily lives and to truly respecting the Indigenous ancestors who had lived in these land spaces for so long and have so much to offer on how we think about food. First, we're going to start with the Cedar Braised Bison dish, and we're basically going to make this like a pot roast. I'm just going to put this big chunk of meat right in the pot. I'm going to get a little bit of salt and sprinkle it directly on the meat. I'm going to use a little bit of sumac also for seasoning. And then basically we're just going to use some of this great vegetable, and I'm going to cut up this really wonderful locally grown sweet potato, and I'm just making big chunks and really simple. It's just going to be a wonderful, basically one pot dish. And this is the turnip, and is going to taste really awesome in this dish too. So just throwing this in there. We're going to use some of these sunchokes, and these guys just have such a cool shape. You know, I just love keeping them simple and just cutting them up so you can see some of that cool shape. And then I am going to use a little bit of the cedar, since this is Cedar Braised Bison. This is pure maple that's grown here in Minnesota. And the last piece that we're going to do here is just fill this up so the water just barely comes to the top, just over the meat. And then we're just going to put this right into the oven. I'm going to cook this at 300 degrees for about 5 hours. All right, I'm just going to pull this out of the oven. So let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it looks awesome. So let's just plate this up. Look at that. And this stuff is literally falling apart right here. You can see that, it's just breaking apart. It's so perfect. I'm gonna take some of the cedar, and I'm just gonna chop it up and sprinkle it right over. And voila, one pot meal. If you want a little texture, you could always just throw something like some pepitas or something on it, because it'll just give it a little crunch. This is beautiful right now, perfect. So with the creation of North American Traditional Indigenous Food Systems, it was really focused on two very particular pieces: creating access to Indigenous education and creating access to Indigenous foods. So Indigenous Food Lab is doing just that. It's our very first nonprofit kitchen. The real goal of what we're trying to do is set up a system to be able to work directly with tribal communities, to be able to help them to develop their own Indigenous culinary programming. So our kitchen can help train their leaders how to develop recipes and menus. You did the bison stew last time too, right? And giving them all the tools necessary. We just want to become a support center to help more and more Indigenous food production out there.
Hi, amazing. Chef Sean is with us now. Sean Sherman's with us. Our friends at Trickster Company. It's an Indigenous-owned company that sells Native American art and cultural products. They wanted to help out with your efforts, so they're donating $10,000 to Natives today. Yes, I know. Isn't that cool?
That's amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
Thank you guys.
I mean,
That's so
talk
amazing.
about full circle and supporting each other and the good works that you're doing. And I love the book. It's just beautiful. Congratulations on everything.